to be inside is where my soul dies. But when I'm outside photographing, I exist outside the passage of time. You know, maybe to be outside is genuinely where humans thrive. And maybe you will die, but you can make photographs, and maybe those could last forever, right? Maybe you can't live forever, but you can make photographs. And yeah, I had this thought. I was introducing the free range like eggs into my diet. Last week I had I had 2 New York strips, and I slammed down a dozen eggs, like the whole carton, out of curiosity. And the next day the power I felt was insane. Like, I think adding eggs to the carnivore diet is a wise idea. Maybe the high cholesterol in the eggs is the source of those natural steroids or something, because I feel so good when I have eggs. And so yeah, maybe we should be more like the free-range chickens, right? We spend all this money on these free-range chickens, free-range eggs, whatever. Yet we are confined to these grids, living in cells, operating computers, and becoming like the cave people. I think that all of these screens and things that we're vicariously living through, when you consider the iPhone, the computer, the TV, the media, Hollywood, all these like shows and all this kind of stuff, yeah, it's one big smoke screen, and the shadows that are casted upon this screen becomes the reality and the truth. But meanwhile, when you're under the sun, outside, following the light, yeah, maybe this is where the real truth is. So what is real truth? Where is real power felt and harnessed? Outside, under the sun, like a free-range chicken. But yeah, alas, we prefer the indoors. I think generally, you know, I see it more and more. Even on sunny days, you'll see people with sunglasses. You know, maybe those sunglasses, they trick your eyes into thinking you're still inside. And maybe that's why people get sunburnt so often and have pale skin. And yeah, I don't know, maybe there's something about the sunglasses thing and sunscreen. I think maybe it just weakens your skin. You know, I was like, Thanksgiving dinner, the cousin asked me like, wow, you're so tan, like, how are you so tan, or whatever. I'm like, just go outside. I don't know, maybe it's a genetic thing. I really don't know. I don't think so though, because I noticed that it, you know, it's just the sun. Like, the sun is the ultimate source of power. Maybe our bodies, our physical bodies, are like batteries, and yeah, you need to charge your battery somehow, and maybe the sun is the source of that charge. And so yeah, it's just like a fun way of thinking about it. But yeah, we're becoming like factory grown lab meat, you know, those chickens that are raised in factories. And yeah, spending all this money on the free range stuff. It's like we treat the animals how we should be treated, you know, just outside, roaming, sunlight. And so yeah, there's really no excuse not to go out even in the rain. It's like, I got my armor, I got my shield. The umbrella is the shield, and then the raincoat goes down to the ankle. You know, this is the Fashion District Mall. Welcome to the Fashion District. Yeah, I'm wearing Y3. Yoji Yamamoto, I believe, is the name, the Japanese guy. He made this jacket in 2016. I bought it on Amazon for like $100. You can't find it, I don't think, online. But it's really good because it goes to the ankles. And yeah, it's like nothing really penetrates this armor. You know, in video games, you go out there looking for armor, looking for ways to upgrade your character. Yeah, I think treating the clothing as armor is wise. The umbrella is a shield, and really the elements, it shouldn't affect your attitude. It shouldn't affect how you conquer the day or whether or not you go outside. I think it's really foolish to think, oh, you know, it's a rainy day, you know, I can't go out there or something. But it's like, yeah, it's just, you can. It's fine. Maybe a lot of like depression, mental health stuff during the winter months stems from the lack of sunlight and the, you know, the inclement conditions, you know, the cold weather and staying inside for too long. Like, I know for a fact that if I stay inside for too long, I do become more moody, more angsty, a little bit more angry and irritable. But when I'm unlocked from the cage and I'm not in the cell, you know, then I have this free range, open world to move my body through, where happiness becomes this physical thing. Where I, you know, during the pandemic, whatever, like sitting down all day, like that is hell. Like if you have to sit down for the entire day, that's like one of the most unnatural things that you could do. Like school has programmed us from day one to just sit down, shut up, do your little tasks, you know, just like for 8 hours straight, you're just sitting down. But for me, like, I got a standing desk because I need to be standing. I can't sit down. If I sit down, I'm like, what? You feel like your body is just like dying slowly. Like if I had to work inside, I'd be standing, because yeah, sitting down, it really doesn't feel right. It's never felt right to me. And still to this day, I think that. Yeah, maybe maybe going forward we should consider the physical open world more and be more like the free range chickens, be more like those pasture raised eggs. Yeah, maybe it's really wise for me to add these eggs to the diet, because I don't know, I'm just feeling so good. And maybe we just don't eat enough protein generally as humans. Like servings of protein are usually like the side, and we eat more of the veg. But actually, like, we should allow the cows and the chickens and the other animals to eat these things for us, and then we consume the animal. I mean, I personally can find myself fasted for 24 hours every single day for like a year and a half now. And yeah, no cravings in the day. I'm not like hungry. I just have one massive meal. And yeah, that's how I've upgraded my character. That's how I've upgraded my life this past year and a half. It's been kind of insane. The gains, simple things in the gym like farmer's walk, push-ups, pull-ups. You really don't have to do much to increase your power. But the more I think about it, the more I realize that that is actually the goal, because the stronger I become, the more I'm walking, the more I'm exploring, the more courageous I become, the more confident I am to then make more pictures, right? And so the stronger photographer, or the stronger photographer, right, will make stronger photographs. I mean, I really do believe that. So it really is this physical thing of going out into the world, conquering, exploring. You know, the photography, the photographs themselves, they merely display your lust for life, where the more interesting question to ask yourself is, you know, how curious were you? You know, did you have courage when you pressed the shutter? Did you throw yourself onto the front lines of life, getting closer and closer to life itself? You know, I think that is the more interesting question to ask than, you know, did you make a good or bad photograph, right? These things are silly. But actually, recognizing that photography takes a long passage of time to pass for you to find anything. You could go out there every single day with repetition and still, my shield, and still find nothing. It might take you a year, it might take you 2 years, it might take you 7 years, 10 years until you find something that works for you. And I think that's important, right? To detach yourself from the outcome itself. A lot of the times we get caught up with the picture. Who cares about the picture? You know, the picture is the byproduct of you and your curiosity. And going forward, I'm trying to evoke, not actively trying to evoke it, but the more I think about beauty, right? Like, it's a kind of objective, right? Like, I can look at architecture and see the facade out front of this building and recognize its beauty, right? The objective beauty of this architecture. You know, this glass kind of like ugly structure. I mean, maybe a big glass cube is good because of the light that it can produce indoors, but in general, there's something about this kind of like modern setup with these LED screens and those little like cell windows that don't look aesthetically beautiful. But beyond beauty, beyond this like you know, binary way of looking at beauty, like, oh, this is beautiful, oh, this is ugly, maybe to evoke the sublime is a good goal. So when I'm photographing, yeah, I hope to evoke that feeling. It's indescribable. You know, I walk this same lane every single day and I still find something to uplift in my photographs. I love observing the multifaceted complexities of life. Like just the, you know, just the sheer reflection through a puddle, you know, the glimmering of the light, the way that the water is moving, you know, there's something about the rain, there's something about the small things, the things that you will look at and think, oh, this is ordinary, this is boring, this is banal, this is nothing. But the ordinary becomes extraordinary and the world becomes this canvas. And the feeling I get every single day is so crazy. I'm lusting, like I'm becoming more interested every day. I'm becoming more fascinated with life. I'm becoming more curious. I'm becoming, you know, just more just engaged with the now, with the moments in front of me. And I think that's the goal of an artist as a photographer, is to find yourself in a place of awe. I find myself in this like sense of awe and wonder where everything is so beautiful, and I'm filled with this sense of gratitude for the really, really, really small things. Like, thank God I have a raincoat, I have a umbrella, and I can still go out for my walk. You know, it's raining, it's shitty out, but I can still find myself moving my body, enjoying the day. I can still find beauty in it. I can still look at the world and find this sort of sublime experience that is so ordinary, that's so mundane, that is hard to describe. But I can tell you that detaching yourself from the shadows, stop looking at the TV, the media, and consuming bullshit and all this kind of like junk food, you know, we were just becoming like these factory grown chickens, just eating processed sugary foods, sitting inside, degrading our body and becoming lab grown meat, while the chickens are out there grazing in the pastures, free range. You know, maybe we should be more like that. Maybe that would help us appreciate the mundane and find the sublime to be something worth championing on our daily commutes. You know, I genuinely believe that we're becoming less curious, less imaginative, just in general as a populace, because of our lack of connection to the outdoors, to the sun, to the moon, to the stars up above. In a city, you know, there's pollution, you can't even look up and see any stars. But when I was in Zambia living off the grid, I saw the stars, I saw the galaxies, I saw the way the satellites move and the stars shoot across the night sky. And that had my mind wondering, what's out there? Why? What are we here for? Is there, you know, a reason for all this, you know, sort of chaos? And sort of just finding myself in this imaginative and curious state. I think it's interesting too to consider off the grid. It's like a lot of people have this desire to be off the grid itself, to live off the land. And you know, while I have experienced it, and I can confirm that it was the most you know, it was like the happiest state I've ever been in, or like the most interesting way of life and the most fulfilling, you know, under a tribe, under one church, under one belief in the same God. You know, there's like a structure in a tribe that makes total sense, and I think that's where humans thrive. Woo! Yo, this is crazy. The wind is like, yeah, I'm gonna walk back this way. Yeah, the wind is pretty bad. Let's not go towards the river. I think the wind will get even worse and worse. But yeah, there's something about the tribe, there's something about the community and being off the grid. You know, today I was talking to this worker Clarence, who's like, he always talks to me about how he wants to retire. He's like, I'm 62, man, I gotta get out of here. I want to go to West Virginia, buy a piece of land and just put my house on the middle of a farm. And I'm always joking with him like, yeah, man, I'm gonna go and bring some cows for you, and we'll just be mooing all day and have a happy life. And you know, we won't have to look at these screens that show us trees. You know, we could just be out there under the trees. But you know, look at these displays. It's kind of funny. The cherry blossoms. Yeah, we actually have these cherry blossoms in Philly. They already started blooming. We took the seeds from Japan, and they are along the Schuylkill River and in various locations throughout the city, right? Like, the good thing about living in Philly is we have green spaces, we have parks that are scattered throughout the center city area. We have even larger greenlands like the Wissahickon, which is the forest I grew up playing in and exploring. We have the Bartram's Garden in West Philadelphia, FDR Park in South Philadelphia. You know, there's lots of different trails and places to get away from the hustle and bustle of the city. You know, we do put green things down inside these buildings, it seems, right? There's plants. This is real, I think. No, it's not. I don't know. But there is something about being surrounded by the greens. And connecting with nature. You know, I think we all sort of desire it deep down. Yeah, these are definitely, I don't know. No. Biophilia, the love for the natural. Yeah, this is weird. This is like, I don't know. You can't tell what is real, what is false. I don't know. I only trust things that are outside. This stuff, like, who knows? No, it looks. See, what is real? What is fake? That is fake. That's 1000% fake. I feel like I could snap that with my pinkies. Hey, look, less maintenance. But yeah, we have this desire deep down. I think some people want to get off the grid, and I don't know, it makes sense. There is like that natural inclination and want that lifestyle, but I thrive in the chaos of a city. I love it. So, da, da, da. It's a beautiful clock. What is it, 11:30? The Wanamaker organ will be sounding soon. Look at these historic photographs. Wow. That's a great shot. And so... What's funny is when I wear this jacket, people would greet me like, Salam alaikum. It's kind of funny. But yeah, I seek the sublime. I seek to evoke that feeling. It's indescribable. I can't really describe it with words. But I can tell you that when I wake up in the morning, if I go for a nature walk, find myself in an elevated space, look out towards the horizon, and kind of just look out into the distance. Like for me, that's like the feeling. That's the feeling of the sublime. Like this like infinite possibility. It's looking beyond the horizon, beyond beauty. And yeah, maybe that's the goal. To evoke the sublime. The beauty in the mundane. That's the name of the game. Snapshot your way through life. Mr. William Penn and the native man. You know, thank God for William Penn's plan to implement green spaces with his agreement amongst these natives, I suppose. Yeah, maybe the guys with the top hats provided some parklands.